Alright guys, welcome back. We're going to be solving another question from the second chapter of the Mechanics of Materials by Beer and Johnston, and we're going to have question 33 where we have an axial centric force of magnitude 450 kilonewtons which is applying at the top of this plate, and this force would be applying to the composite block as shown by means of a rigid end plate, and we know that the height is the h in the figure is 10 millimeters, so we have these two in here, and the question is asking us to find the normal stress first in brass core and second in the aluminum plate. So we have all the information in the figure regarding the elastic modulus for each of these two plates. So the gray plates that we see, these ones are the aluminum, and the one at the core is the brass core. So I'm just going to clean up and we're going to start. All right, so one thing that we know, let's just go over the deformation that we have in each of these two plates and the brass core that we have. So whatever deformation we're going to have for aluminum, it would be the same for the brass too. I'm going to show the deformation of the aluminum plates with A. So we're going to have delta A for aluminum and we're going to have delta B for brass. And as I mentioned, these two has to be the same because they are limited on two sides with these two plates. So we're just going to consider one delta as a deformation for each of them. And also we have the force P that is applying to the aluminum and brass. So technically the P that is applying will be equal to the force that is applying at aluminum and the brass. So the sum of these two is going to give us the total P that is applying on top of this plate. All right, so we have the formula that we discussed over and over. Our deformational delta would be PL over area times elastic modulus, and we can write this down for each of them. And as I said, the deformation for both of them would be the same. Let's just start for A. We're going to have PA times L over the area of the aluminum times the elastic modulus of aluminum, and this will be equal to same story for PB as well and the brass. So we're gonna have PB length over the area of the brass times elastic modulus of brass. Obviously the length is the same, so if you just bring L on the left side, we can just cancel these and divide everything by L. So what we can see in here is that if we just want to write down P, we're gonna have PA plus PB. So we can, from here we can find P. So technically our P would be, if we just factor delta over L, we're gonna have the area of the aluminum times. And if we just look at these two, we're gonna have the same thing. So this will be plus PB would be area of the brass, elastic modulus of brass times delta over L. And now we can factor the delta over L, and our P would be basically, so this would be what we have for our P, and we know that this will be equal to what we had for the force P, which was 450 kilonewton. And we know that our engineering strain, which we talked about in the previous video, the difference between engineering strain and the true strain. So the engineering strain would be the deformation over the initial length or the L that we have. So basically this will be equal to our epsilon. So since we have all of these information, we can easily find the epsilon in here. And the reason I'm trying to find the epsilon is that since the question is asking us to figure out the normal stress, we know that normal stress based on the Hooke's law would be the elastic modulus times the strain. And that's why I'm trying to find the strain based of what we have in here, and that way finding the stress would be pretty easy. So basically we're gonna have the force P over And we should be able to find that pretty easy. So as I mentioned, the force P is 450 kilonewtons. I'm just going to do 10 to the 3 to have it in newtons. And we just have to find the area for each of these ones. Let's start with the aluminum. So basically we have a rectangle where this side is 10 and this side would be 60, and obviously we have two of these, so it's this one and also this one. So we can just do 10 divided by 60, and since everything is in millimeter, times 2, so will be 20 times 60. And since we have a millimeter unit, we're going to do 10 to the minus 6 to get rid of that. And the elastic modulus for the aluminum, we have it in the question, 70 gigapascal. So times 70, 10 to the 9. That would be what we have for aluminum. I'm just going to have the same thing for brass. And what we need for brass, we're going to have different rectangle will be this one where one side is 40 and the other side is 60. So 40 times 60, 10 to the minus 6, again for the unit conversion of the millimeters. And also the brass elastic modulus is 105 gigapascal, so 105 times 10 to the 9. And this should give us the value of the strain that we were looking at. So if we look at this to see each of these is gonna give us 10 to the 3, which will cancel out with the numerator. So let's just see what we have in our ratio. 450 on top, and in the denominator we have 20 times 60 times 70 plus 40 times 60 times 105. And if we look at this, we'll see that we're going to get 1.339 times 10 to the minus 3 for our strain. Obviously, it doesn't have any unit 2. So the rest of this, as I mentioned, is pretty quick. We just have to multiply this by the elastic modulus. So normal stress for aluminum would be the elastic modulus in aluminum, which was 70 gigapascal times the strain. And so this will be the B part, and the A part would be brass 105 times 10 to the 9 times the strain. And we just have to find the value for each of these, and that would be pretty much everything for this question. 70 times 1.339. I missed the 10 to the minus 3 in each of these. So this is going to give us 10 to the 6, so the unit will be megapascal. And let's just calculate this. 70 times 1.339. That's going to be 93.73, and the other one would be 105, and that's going to give us 140.60, which is going to be the final answer for this question. Hope everything was clear. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and you guys take care. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.